Decisions. Alright, let's go with Wrenchworks today. Cheers. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I just got back from deployment and I can't wait to start working on Maggie. I got the garage closed because my neighbor is playing music right now and I'm trying not to get that in the background, so I apologize for that. It won't be long before I'm back on deployment, so I'm gonna try to crank as many videos as I can, but we'll see how this goes. We'll play it by ear. I still have my 4th-gen steering to install and other suspension components that got coming in the mail shortly. So without further ado, let's see what's in the box. Yes, guys, I just purchased, or not just purchased, but I purchased an exhaust manifold, Steed Speed. Now what I'm trying to do here is compare this manifold to the stock one. I want to do something that I haven't personally seen anybody do it before. I'm just gonna replace the manifold. I'm gonna keep the stock turbo and everything else, and I want to see if there's a difference in EGTs as well as performance by just replacing this piece right here. So I'm gonna go through all the work and everything, leave the stock turbo in there. I don't have another one anyways, but it is what it is. We're just gonna go ahead and replace the speeds right here and see what happens. You know, I already took a video going uphill with the stock manifold, so I'm gonna compare it to this one once I get it in. Alright, this is with the stock manifold, about 67 degrees out, slide uphill, 18 psi. Alright, so let's unwrap this thing. This is how it comes in pretty much. It comes with gaskets and everything. I wasn't sure if it did. There was nothing in the site that said whether it did or not. So I purchased extra set from Gino's Garage. It also comes with, I believe, 4 studs. Comes with 4 studs right there. I went ahead and purchased a different set of studs that we're gonna get into here in a minute. So let's just get this out of the box. This is really nice, guys. It looks like it's even ceramic coated on the inside. Looks really nice. Alright, let's give you guys a closer look here. Now the reason why I went with the stock replacement is because eventually I just want to add a turbo kit, so compound setup. That's the reason I chose this one. Plus I really wanted to do a comparison between the stock one and this one, or I guess any aftermarket, but this is the one that I chose. So we'll see how it performs. Alright, so these are the studs that I got. Honestly, this was a really hard purchase for me. It was really hard to justify spending this amount of money on studs. But after doing research and everything, I just rather do it one time. I don't want to buy some studs and they end up like rusting out, not working, breaking or whatever, and then I'm end up buying the expensive ones anyway. So I went ahead and bought the Fleece ones. They're the 7mm hex studs. This is how they come. Honestly, for 200 bucks, I was expecting like better packaging, you know, something fancier than this. But you know, I'm not gonna complain. It's all right. We got some Loctite here, some lube, anti-seize, Fleece Performance. Here we go. 12 studs from Fleece Performance. These are obviously gonna give me more clamping force. I have to go online and find the instructions, see what that torque spec is. But like I said, these are 7mm hex, just so you can put them in, and obviously you torque it down. But anyways, this is gonna be the setup: Fleece and Steed Speed. Let's see how it performs. We'll get some EGTs before and after. So let's get right on this. Bye, babe. I hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you walk away. Alright, so I got the batteries disconnected. We're gonna be taking, obviously, the manifold bolts off. I got onto my AGT probe, B clamp for the turbo, oil feed on the top. Intake's gotta come off. Oil drain at the bottom. And the booth. These things right here are freaking dumb. Why would they put them on the last two cylinders? The hardest place to get to. They must have had issues with those backing out. But yeah, that has been a pain in the ass. That probably has been the hardest thing on this whole project so far. Trying to pop those out. Alright, so I installed two of the Fleece studs. One here and one over here at the bottom, so this thing doesn't completely just drop on me when I take the rest of these bolts off. So yeah, see how that goes. Alright, so the stock manifold is off. Just gonna go ahead and vacuum all the dirt and crap out of there. Make sure I put something over that drain line. Make sure nothing goes inside the pan. And then clean the gasket surfaces. And then the new one should go right in. Alright, here's the stock manifold. Came off. Everything looks alright. Inspecting the turbo here. She spins. Barely any side to side, no in and out play. Same over here, no oil or signs of failure. So yeah, sure, no problem slapping this thing back in. Alright, I'm comparing the openings here, so right here at the mouth, pretty much at the very edge. Got about 38 mils, 39mm. Let's go over here. Right at the very edge. 42 according to this caliper, so a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and take this turbo off. Moving?
I did a little bit. There you go. You got it. You got it. Keep going, Bubba. There it is.
Alright, so this obviously took a little bit of teamwork. I had to grind off. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. Grind off part of this wrench in order to make it fit right there. And get that nut off in one piece. Alright, so let's go ahead and separate these. Alright, so pretty much the only difference from the stock manifold is the split right here, where pretty much the first 3 holes feed this side and then the other 3 feed this side. Doesn't really matter on the stock turbo because it's all going to the same place. Stock turbo is not, doesn't have to split. Steed Speed does provide a gasket for this, but I'm just gonna use the one I got from Geno's because it doesn't really matter. Now, this one is a lot thicker. It's like 3 times the thickness of his original one. I don't know if you guys can catch that on the camera, but yeah, a lot thicker. Steed Speed did provide the studs for the turbo. You're just gonna thread 2 here, the turbo. I'm just gonna reuse these 2 already attached to the turbo. Thread 2 in here, those 2 already there, and then use the new hardware that they provided. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead, mount the turbo to the manifold, and install the studs into the head. I already cleaned it up and everything, which is scuff pad. The other thing that's really nice about this manifold is you get 2 tap holes for your EGT sensor, and they do provide plugs in case you do not have those. So I'm going to be plugging one and using the other one. Alright, so you kind of have to thread this side in first, otherwise you won't be able to put the nuts in there after the studs are all the way through. You're gonna have to like sneak the studs in and slowly start threading the nuts till you get it snug, and then you can do the other side. I got a new oil drain gasket here from Geno's, which is a good thing because this one came out in pieces. So yeah, I'm just gonna use a little bit of RTV so I can hold it in place, and then should be able to slap this thing in. Oh, somebody's calling me. What's up? Alright, so pretty much to get this thing here, I had to take all the bottom studs out because otherwise it wouldn't go in. Fitment's too tight, so took all the bottom studs out, and then I was able to get it in place. Now I'm gonna put the bottom studs back in and then tighten everything to 40 foot-pounds. Alright, snug them up with the electric ratchet. Now I'm gonna torque them up following this pattern right here from Fleece. Alright, let's go ahead and start it up. Actual test drive is gonna be tomorrow though. Got your GTs. We're here on our test drive next day. Not even gonna lie, it's about 7 degrees cooler today. It's really hard to get a sunny day out here in Washington, so I'm gonna do my best here. Response, I can definitely tell this quicker response. It took less pedal to get out of my parking spot. There we go, same hill. Sorry. Same hill. One more PSI about, well, 18, 19, 800. So last time was high 800s, this time is low 800s. So there's a noticeable difference. Alright, we're done with the hill. So there you go, guys, that's the end result. That's as close as I could get it as far as air temperature and everything like that goes. Perfect scenario would have been yesterday, but girl called me, El Camino broke down. She was stuck at the store, started, went out. So I had to go over there, try to get it running. Even with a hammer and everything, I couldn't get it to turn over. So I had to tow it home. So I hooked up a strap on it and kind of just pulled it home. So anyways, today was 7 degrees colder than the original test. That might have a significant difference on the test, I'm not sure, but I did the best that I could to provide you accurate results. At same hill, 45 miles an hour on cruise control. It was about the same PSI. There's a noticeable difference in response. Like I said, barely any pedal, barely touched it, backed right up. So, and it does sound a little bit different. Like I said, it just sounds less restrictive. As far as installation goes, just make sure if you're using studs, you remove, if you're using studs and you're installing a stock turbo, like if you're doing like a 2nd gen swap or anything like that, I'm sure it's gonna be different. If you're doing a stock turbo with the Steed Speed setup, make sure you remove the bottom studs before you attempt to install it, otherwise it's gonna be a pain. All right, so I hope you enjoy the content. I'm sorry if it looked rushed towards the end. Like I said, I had to step out and go get the other car that broke down, so I apologize for that. And stay tuned for steering upgrades and other upgrades coming up, and as always, stay safe. All right, cheers.